What one in the house? How you doing, my friend? I know that. How does it feel? Cute one. Oh. Is there a stupid crunchy noise? Let me go and find a seat. We've had enough time. If I stop moving, can you like hear me properly now? Morning, Jennifer. Who else is in the house anyway? Johnny the Legs, good to see you. Vegan something. Lorraine Edie, my good friend. The last time I streamed over here, right, so it's crunchy when I'm moving, and it stops being noisy when I stop. Ah! Right, I better go and find a seat. I don't know what that's all about. There's something wrong with my phone. It's fine when I'm doing a phone call. It's weird. Oh, hang on a minute. We can hear you when you're still a little quiet. A little quiet. Do I sack this off and stream from home? No, I'm going to stream from the park because it's nicer. I'm just going to find a seat, guys. I'm sorry if it's going to be punchy for a minute. JB001's in the house. Good to see you. Toby Gosling. Can you hear me now? Is that what you're saying? I don't know. What's up with this phone? It's weird. Hey, Casey, how are you doing? I'll go and find a seat then. I'll go and find a seat. I often mistake this tree trunk. I often mistake that tree trunk. If I see that out of my peripheral, I think it looks like an elephant to me. Like on the playground if there is one. It's not really a playground, it's more of an old big tree that's sort of hot-tailed and it's sort of a climbing frame, I guess. Can you guys hear me at all when I'm walking, or is it just horrible? Oh, I'm zoomed in. I zoomed into the squirrel and forgot to zoom out again. It's like you into your pocket. How would you know what that sounds like? That's weird. It's like boring, but what about that? White bread in the house. Sound like the lion walking. Hear your footsteps. What? That's weird, isn't it? Right, I found a little seat. You see these quote unquote weeds. My lawn in the back garden is overgrown with those weeds, aka plants, aka well, they've got flowers on them. How am I sounding now, by the way? I've also got like violet flowers and little blue flowers growing in my lawn. And some of you guys will know I sometimes use plant medicines and have a bit of a experience with those. And I did so on the weekend. And I looked at the lawn, and before my eyes, it was like growing, and it was kind of alive. Like the plants were alive. They were kind of swaying, and they looked really happy. And they were so vibrant. I mean, it's like looking at a Disney Pixar movie. I basically stared at my overgrown lawn, which most people would think like wasn't very nice to look at, but it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen, and I just sat staring at it for like an hour, transfixed. Don't do drugs, kids. Drugs are bad. Right, where were we? Voice still sounds distant. What? How's that? It's fine. Oh, sound is fine now. Fully green giant, that's me. I thought you were walking next to a horse. How are you doing, Kim Draco? Where in the world are you? How's it going? Are you a person of vegan persuasionage? And how's the vegan scene where you are? Angerad's up in there, and their lovely mum, Linda. Say, do subscribe, sorry, to her channel. That's what I was trying to say. My words came out, David. Big friendly to BFG. Owen Samuel, good to see you. Owen Samurai, what's your favourite lift? Hello, really? I don't know that I have one. I think with bodybuilding, like the lifts are a tool to kind of shape your muscles, and I like the variety of bodybuilding. If I had to say like a favourite, I might say Egyptian side lateral raises. Are you guys aware of those? So it's when you side onto a low pulley and you're like leaning away. You like grab the upright, you lean away, you split your legs, and the cable comes between your legs. So you're doing basically a side lateral raise straight out to the sides. But you've got about, because of the lean and the fact that you've got a cable versus free weights and this constant tension, you have about twice the time under tension. And I find by depressing my shoulder, raising my arm up, I get such a great burn in the medial deltoid head, in the side delt, and I have gives me great like shoulder width. I really love it. Yeah, I would say Egyptian side lateral is my favourite lift. Crypto colour lights tech. Welcome to you, Hench Herbivore. How do you stay the same weight? Well, if you eat roughly the same calories and do roughly the same amount of movement, and you know, you need to basically weigh yourself. You need to you do a rough guess of what's your maintenance calories. You can use the total daily energy expenditure calculator, TDEE, and then work out what probably is roughly your maintenance calories. Then you add on a multiplier for your movement. You can do all this through a browser. You just type TDEE into your browser, plug in all your stats, and work out your basal metabolic. As I say, add on your multiplier, and then weekly, once a week, say on a Monday, before after the loo, before you eat or drink anything, you weigh yourself there, and then you do the same thing a week later under the same protocol. If your weight stayed the same, that's how many calories you need. If you've put on a pound, then you need to drop about 500 calories. That's roughly how many calories it is to raise or increase or lose weight. And you just titrate your calories relative to that. Yeah. Morning, Max and Morgan. How are you? Where in the world are you? How's the vegan scene there? That's funny, white red. France, I have a big cavity in my tooth, but can't go to the dentist at least a month. First, I have to get vaccinated. Any tips? No, not really. No, you just need that filling, don't you? Basically, don't know. Stick some chewing gum in there. I don't know. I'm no dentist. Kim Draco is vegan, living in Northampton. Something more common. Very good. We like to hear. France, maybe making some nut yogurt with alkaline pH would be helpful. I don't know. Owen Samurai, do you have any opinion on spirulina? I have it in the morning shake that it can block B12 absorption. I think, is that one of those foods where there can be pseudo B12? And that being the case, yeah, that fake B12 will block the receptors. So even if you've got adequate B12 in your diet, maybe the receptors are taken up and it can't work. So I think that is one of those foods. So that is a potential. The other thing is, most spirulina is apparently contaminated with I think heavy metals or something. Does it act as a kind of neurotoxin as well or something? Dr. Greg has done a video on it, and he doesn't like spirulina. He warns against it, but he says the other blue-green algae, chlorella, he really rates that. Max Morgan is in Maidenhead. Where's Maidenhead? I'm thinking of Maidstone. No, I don't know where Maidenhead is. Where is that? Jennifer Samet. Anyone got more recommendations for dog food? Tried Benevo, yeah, etc. 3 days, then goes off it. No. I know there is a book by a lady called Anne Heritage, and she had the longest living dog on record until fairly recently, like recent years, and now another dog's lived longer. But her dog, Brambles, was actually vegan, and she details her whole foods plant-based diet that she used to make and feed her herself. So yeah, maybe you can give that a look. Owen Tamra, I've been loving this shorts lately. Thank you so much, my friend. That's really kind of you. We've been enjoying those. We enjoyed making the one where I pretended I lived next door and Gemma's got a package for me and all that. And she did that quick change thing because I had a vegan propaganda T-shirt on, Defender of Animals. Yeah. Omnipet, Lorraine Eady is saying there on Instagram. Right. Judy Smith, good morning from Kilmovie, Republic of Ireland. Wow. Morning to you, Judy. How's it going? How's the vegan scene in Kilmovie? Judy, thank you guys for doing these vegan chats. Oh, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Like, you know, particularly over lockdown, you know, we all need connection and we all need a sense of community. I'm lucky, really, in Norwich. Like, we have a massive vegan community. And I know some of you guys, like, you have no vegan community where you are. So I'm appreciating these streams because I get to hang out with you and don't have to be so lonely. All right, we're kind of coming out of lockdown now, and I am at the gym and I see all my friends there now. But, you know, for the longest time, it's basically me and Gemma, you know, which is nice. Like, she's my the love of my life, and I think my soulmate. I believe that, and so grateful to be in lockdown with my soulmate. But you know, we need community. So this has been really good for me as well. So yeah, thanks for thanking me, but also thank you for turning up. Res the vegans in the house. How you doing, my friend? Maidenhead is in Berkshire, 30 minutes away from. Okay. I'm going to be moving to London. Later this year. That's exciting, isn't it? Okay, so I'm in Norwich in East Anglia, so I guess you're not too far from me. Lee Valentine, morning mate, is it okay for my wife to take protein powder while pregnant? Yes, but I question whether she really needs it unless she's like a bodybuilder or something. Like, it's likely unnecessary, and so it's likely not as healthful as what she'd be displacing, because obviously, you know, you want to eat a certain amount of calories. You don't want to go like over that. Now, obviously, she needs to put weight on at the minute, but you know, if you're eating so many calories and putting fat on, that's never a good thing for anyone. But so she needs a certain amount of calories, and she does need to be putting weight on. But she could be using those calories to eat whole foods, which will have fiber and phytochemicals and, you know, more nutrients. And particularly at this stage of her life, she needs really nutritionally dense food. So I would say it's okay. I would say it's not optimal. I say it's not optimal for anyone. If I wasn't a bodybuilder, I wouldn't be taking it. I really wouldn't. I'd be sticking to whole foods. I think, like, in the context of an otherwise whole foods plant-based diet, 1 or 2 servings of a more processed protein, fat food like protein powder, tofu, seitan, textured vegetable protein, like all the pea protein sort of product. As long as they've not got loads of additives, like, you know, loads of salt or refined oil in things, I think that's probably not too bad. Like, will it make any difference to your longevity? Like, maybe you might be but the rest of my diet is legumes, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, herbs, and spices. I'm really just getting the most nutritional density I can, other than, you know, a couple of these more processed. Max Morgan, have you tried chickpea and mango curry? Phenomenal it is. Haven't, but that sounds really good. I will. Have you got a good like recipe? The Flower is in the house. Yo from Sweden. Hello, the Flower. How are you? Thanks for joining us today. How is the vegan scene in Sweden? Don't think anyone's ever told me. Owen Samurai. When you treated your SIBO, you mentioned a number of supplements. So in case people aren't aware of SIBO, it's actually SIBO, and it stands for small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And that's when bacteria that should be living in the colon manage to migrate backwards through the ileocecal valve somehow, and they get into the small intestine where they shouldn't be, and then they ferment stuff in there, and then that causes you like basically IBS symptoms. Some experts think that the majority of IBS may be driven by SIBO. Like, IBS is kind of like a catch-all, like cover term that doctors use when they don't know like actually what the problem is. Oftentimes it's SIBO. Question. Hey, do you still include those in your diet? Yeah, it's only short term because they are, although they were natural, they are microbials. They are like antibiotics, basically. Not as harsh as like what a doctor would have given. So it was allicin, which is a compound out of the allium vegetables, berberine, which is a compound from berries, and grapefruit seed extract. And, you know, it is to kill the bacteria that have got into the small intestine. Of course, it's killing bacteria that are in the colon as well. And we need a good amount of these Prevotella strains of bacteria in order to thrive. So you don't want to be doing it willy-nilly. You don't want to be doing it all the time. I've no idea why I developed SIBO. I mean, it's quite common. I think I was just unlucky. But I mean, it's not come back. So it's not like I've had to keep doing it. And you don't want to. You'll be killing your good gut bugs. So yeah, if it's an ongoing thing, I would really say, you know, you really need to work with a professional like I did. I didn't know how to. But luckily, Simon Hamnet, aka Go-To Man, he's a genius with gut health because he's been through it, and he basically got himself out of it. He had to sort of learn everything for himself, and he's phenomenal. He's worth his weight in gold. Yeah, so I would say work with someone like him. Yeah. 25 per kilogram plants make 1 kilo of beef. That's a great name. Paul, are you able to see who's viewing the stream if they're not coming? No, I don't think so. Let me try pressing. Try pressing. No, you can't. As far as I know, what's this button do? No, definitely not. Vegan something. What animal do you think you are most like? I think I'm most like a human animal. I don't know. Don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. I would, you know, if you'd have asked me this a few years ago when I was up in my ego and doorman and, you know, doing fighting arts and obviously the bodybuilding and whatever, you know, I would have said, oh yeah, I'm like a tiger or like something like that. But, and I guess I've got, you know, I've got that ferocity within me, like, should I need it, but I don't want it. I don't want to be aggressive. You know, I would do so. I would do so in self-defense if I had no other choice. But I feel like more now that I have more love inside me, or I'm more willing to. Not that I have more love inside of me, but I'm more willing to show that side of me. So I would say I'm like a mother tiger. I've just got total love for everyone, like she has for her cubs, but don't want to mess with her. Oh, it's a dog-a-log. Hello, mate. Hi, how are you doing? Who's a cutie? Okay. The flower. Do you have any tips on inflammation in the wrists and hands? Same as inflammation anywhere in the body. Well, first of all, likely you're doing something that's irritating them. Don't know if you're like into weight training, or if you're doing something that's heavily relies on your hands and wrists. And so number one generally is to just have a little break for a short time. So you're not, say for instance, I used to get tendonitis in my distal biceps tendon, and part of my recovery was I had to stop lifting for like a few weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Um, Other than that, it's really diet. It's really diet. So whole foods, plant based. Avoid animal products. Avoid sugar like refined oil. Just junk. My batteries get low already. Not good. And so the anti-inflammatory foods, by and large, whole plant foods. So legumes, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, herbs and spices, particularly ginger, turmeric. Stack your turmeric with a little bit of black pepper because that will give you more curcumin, which is the real powerful nutrient in there. And also, you want your omega-3 and 6 to be in balance. So there's two types of fat that we must eat, and they are omega-3 and omega-6, essential fatty acids. However, 6 is pro-inflammatory. So really, you want to eat, relative to omega-3, you want about 3 or 4 parts omega-6 to 1 part omega-3 by the end of the day. And in that way, you'll be balanced within your body, and you won't have excess inflammation. Most people, particularly if they eat like a standard Western diet or junk food, they may be 14 to 1, even up to 20 to 1 in favor of pro-inflammatory omega-6. So that's why we have a lot of inflammation in joints as well. There may be reasons why some whole plant foods could give you inflammation if you're unlucky. Things like if you have a gluten issue or nightshades. 1 in 20 people are allergic to tomatoes, potatoes. There's quite a few nightshade vegetables. If you've not seen, I will do a little Google search. And just if you are sensitive to 1 or 2 that you've noticed, you might try the other ones and see if are actually nightshades. Coral, gooseberries, peppers, chilies, tomatillo, tomatoes, aubergines. Yeah, those are the main. There's probably a few more than that, but do a little search. Some people have a problem with nightshades as well. It's well, 1 in 20. Like that's not uncommon, is it? Yeah, so you might want to sort of cut these out. And if that doesn't solve everything, you can also consider adding in CBD oil, which is a really powerful anti-inflammatory. And I'm actually affiliated with a company, Honest Hemp. If you use my code, you can get 30% off your first order, 15% off all subsequent orders, and they're pretty cheap now. They're one of the better companies. They're right up there with the best of the companies. But they got some of the better prices now. They before COVID, they were nearly double the price. Since the COVID outbreak, they've nearly halved their prices across the board. And they're now doing larger bottles, higher potency, so you don't need to use as much. And relatively speaking, the bigger the bottle or the higher the strength, the cost kind of comes down as well. So it used to be a very expensive hobby, CBD, but now it's become a lot more affordable. Really worth a try. But you may be able to do it with just diet. Right. Crypto color lights. I've been vegan before. It made me lose a lot of weight, and I lost muscle. Balance. Eat enough. Just eat. And you're obviously it's easy. It is easy to undereat when you first go vegan, particularly if you're eating healthfully. So what I would say is base your diet around legumes, whole grains, fruits. You want to eat more tropical and dried fruits and less kind of apples and oranges, which are lower calorie. Tropical and dried fruits tend to be very calorically dense. More nuts and seeds, whole nut and seed butters, avocados. Smoothies are a good tactic. You know, your tubers, sweet potatoes, potatoes, veggies. Yeah, you need to eat some like green leafy veggies. You need to eat a little like yellow, orange, red bodies to get your carotenoids. It's good to get some allium vegetables because they're very anti-cancer. Some cruciferous vegetables, again, they're anti-cancer as well. But you don't want to go overboard on those sort of things, which are big volume, lots of water, lots of fiber, little calories. They're very nutritionally dense in terms of vitamins, minerals. But it becomes hard to get enough calories in if you're not careful. So, but you know, if I can, when I was first vegan and I was really heavily bodybuilding, I was doing about 6,000 calories a day, and mostly from whole plant food. And again, for a strengthful physique athlete, I think the judicious use of a little more processed protein product, you know, on the scale of things, probably isn't too bad. Certainly, if you're getting that from plant-based origin rather than animal-based, that you're not going to be doing a fraction of the harm, certainly. So I would consider adding in like 1 or 2 scoops of protein powder or tofu, seitan, TVP. But you use a total daily energy expenditure calculator to see how many calories roughly you need, and use some app like Chronometer, and just be scientific with it. Like try, I don't know, 3,000 calories. Try that for a week. Take your weight, weigh yourself a week later under the same conditions, after the leave, before you eat and drink one morning, same day of the week. You know, and if you know, if you've maintained your weight and that's what you want to do, great. If you wanted to go up and weight a little bit, well, if you just add another banana's worth of calories in a day, you're then putting on a pound a month, or, you know, you just titrate it from there, like however quickly you want to do it. You don't do it too quick. Sweden is getting more and more on the menu in restaurants and warm-ups. Very good. Yeah. Ben Thoburn, hello, loving your meal prep videos. Thank you, my friend. I'll make another one soon. Yeah, I've not done one before. Thanks for the love. Appreciate you. Where in the world are you, Ben? Julie Smith, small populations, but we have only just moved here, and about 4 months ago from the UK. They sell the Happy Pill in the supermarket. Do they indeed? Wow, I didn't know they had stuff. So they're like the posh boys then. Not much of a vegan scene, but would be, yeah, could be lockdown restrictions. Yeah, certainly. I wonder if there's like Facebook groups and stuff, and or if you maybe start one, or like a meetup group in your area. Maybe there might be one if you look around, or maybe you should start one. I had a super chat and I've not spoken of it, have I? Right. Sorry, Acacia. Super chat. Acacia kindly donated 5, I think that's Australian dollars. No question. They're just supporting their local neighbourhood vegan YouTuber. Thank you, Acacia. That's really kind of you. I'm quite a way behind, guys, so I'm gonna carry on from the super chat. If I miss your comment or question, pop it back in the chat, and hopefully I'll get to it this time. I like to try to keep up with it. Kim, you mentioned about your garden earlier. Are you actually participating in No Mo May? No, just well, we've been participating in No Mo 2021 so far. Yeah. It doesn't sit well with me, mowing the lawn. It doesn't sit well. It's like that. Lots of creatures' habitat. You could kill them. You could be killing some of them. Like you could be displacing them. Like they need a home. Yeah, it's a funny one. Johnny the Legs, whereas there is no healthy amount of alcohol to consume, it's pretty much as well as smoking. Agreed. There's nothing good about alcohol. Any resveratrol, you know, the antioxidants that you get from red wine, well, it's only in there because like grape skins were in the mix. So just eat some grapes and then don't get the stomach cancer risk. Kills your good gut microbes, but feeds bad gut microbes, and that's the linchpin of our cornerstone of our health is what types of bacteria we invite to live in the colon. If you want to be well and create vitamins, train the immune system, create tons of short chain fatty acids, which again, they're just essential to our building blocks of our neurotransmitters. They do so many things. I can't begin to tell you. If you want that going on, good health, you eat soluble fibre, resistant starch, and polyphenols, and then you'll be feeding the good bacteria. So, AKA, your good gut bacteria are whole foods vegans, and then the bad gut bacteria that cause, basically disease and death, that create toxins. They eat everything else. So, like alcohol, refined sugar, animal fats, animal protein, some medications and stuff. Julie, any ideas on a vegan version of honey with turmeric with combination supposed to have health benefits? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I mean, the only thing you could maybe say about honey, is it meant to be like antibacterial or something? There's nothing. It's not a health food, honey. It's really, really not a health food. It's free sugar, devoid of fiber. Nutritionally, there may be like one or two little polyphenols from like what the bees have got from the plants or whatever, but it's going to be a tiny fraction of what you could get from eating whole food. So I don't see honey as a health food anyway. No, it's got a lot more detriment than benefit. If you look at the Scherzai's new book, Dino Scherzai, they're like neuroscientists and researchers, and they, in their new book, the 30-day Alzheimer's solution, they say that refined sugars are the biggest driver of Alzheimer's, which is our fastest growing killer, and it's horrible. You've lost the person before they've gone, so you're either caring for them, which hurts your quality of life, and it hurts their quality of life. They've lost their memories, and they'll be confused and scared. They may be angry. They may be out, and your final memories of them are going to be that instead of someone that you love deeply. It's so sad. I really don't recommend eating honey, maple syrup, agave, refined, any of these free sugars, fruit juice even, void of fiber. Yeah, there's some good in there. But you've also get Alzheimer's disease. It's not worth it. Yeah, so I don't know what benefit there would be from the honey. I think that's probably nonsense. But I have turmeric. I just have it neat, or with a bit of black pepper in water, or I put it into a protein shake or a fruit smoothie where I can't even taste it. Or I just cook with it. I don't know what benefits you get from the honey that you wouldn't get manyfold from any country. Yeah, the latest one about turmeric and black pepper there. So black pepper has a compound called piperine. I think by weight, black pepper is about 5% piperine, and then turmeric is about 5% curcumin. And there's other curcuminoids as well, which are extremely health promoting. And that combination, you then get something like 2,000. You get 2,000% more curcumin, like bioavailable, like in the bloodstream and usable. And it's powerful. It does so many different things. It's anti-cancer, antibiotic, antioxidant. There's so much data on turmeric. Any herbs and spices are very powerful. If there is such a thing as a superfood, it's really a term that not. If there's such a thing as a superfood, it's really your your herbs and spices. And turmeric has the most data of all. I have it daily. I have about a teaspoon a day, teaspoon of turmeric, and maybe a quarter of a teaspoon, probably I'll put it on all my meals, probably half a teaspoon of black pepper. The black pepper, the piperine actually grows your microvilli. Inside your intestines, in the small intestine, you've got your villi, like little finger-like protrusions that go into the intestine. And then on them are other little smaller protrusions. They're the microvilli. And the piperine can grow them by 150%. So they grow like half as long again, basically. And so you're plucking more nutrients into the bloodstream. Very powerful. Black pepper, who knew it? Stacey Langley's in here. Nice to see you. Raz, Paul, are you a sweet or a savoury man? Good question. I'm both. So if I had to label myself, I'd probably say savoury, but have a big meal of savoury food, and then I want a sweet. I say dessert. I just eat some fruit basically, more often than not, or a dessert made with fruit and other. I like the variety. I understand that may be part of our evolution, that we would have been eating, like leaves and other vegetables that we eventually went to pick and whatever. But we'd eat that, and supposedly, I believe, I've not really put it to the test, but what I heard was that veggies tend to be more mineral dense, but fruits can be more vitamin dense potentially. So we're sort of drawn to have one and then the other, and then in that way we're getting more nutritional completeness. How true that is, I've not put it. Sense, do you think? I don't know. The flower. Thank you so much for your information. I'll try my best. I will use a budget since I have a poor economy right now. CBD is legal in Sweden as long as there isn't THC. So you can get it you can order it from Honest Hemp. My link's below, and they ship it worldwide. I think they're pretty fast as well. Anyway, good luck with all that. So Lex is having a nice day off. Good for you. I'm having a day off my sprints. I do hill sprints on my bicycle twice a week. But today my quads are really sore, and I had a really disturbed night's sleep for some reason. It's not like me, but I really had trouble sleeping. So feeling a bit exhausted. So I just decided, right, today, instead of my sprint, I'm coming to the park and I'm just going to do like what do you call it? Active recovery. I was going to stream as I walk, but that apparently isn't going to happen. But I thought, I'll just get into nature, just have a more of a restorative one. I'll do another walk with Gemma tonight, and I won't push my body when I'm exhausted and I've not slept well, and then because that can lead to like illness, like infection, and as I say, my quads are super sore, so they do need a day off. I've not had a day off of sprints for since I've started doing them, I think, which is months now. So it's good to have a day off. Oh, you may have meant from work. I don't know why I equated that with training. Casey, I literally had no muscle. I was bedridden. Wow. So right now I do 20-minute workout before bed. Bless you. Thanks. Leg raises, hip raises, push-ups, sit-ups. Feel like I'm ready into the gym. Very good. When you say, I'm sorry to hear that you had that ill health, and I'm really glad that you're doing well, Casey. That's brilliant news. Doing your exercise before bed, does that not make it hard for you to sleep? Do you mean like close to bedtime? I guess you're doing fine. If not, you wouldn't keep doing it. I feel like I'm ready to start going to the gym. Very good. Well done, you. Good to Chris Grant's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Some days if I don't check my food, I can end up eating hardly anything, especially if I had time the day before. Yeah, I can resonate with that. Ben, I go to Norwich sometimes. Are you in Peterborough? Nice. Yeah, I've been to Peterborough. Went to their fair. I think it was just before lockdown first happened. There was a vegan festival. That was really good. Yeah, loads of nuts in your salads to sneak calories in. That certainly works. Raz, my granddad has been diagnosed with bowel cancer and has a significant he absorbs more iron than normal. He won't listen to me when I said to him. Plant-based to help. Any tips? It's hard, isn't it? So I would just send him proof, like evidence, like nutrition facts videos. People just don't want to listen, even though like they're in the most dire straits. It's so hurtful, isn't it, when it's your loved ones and they won't bloody listen? It's so frustrating. And bless him. They were doing so much good. Do you know what I mean? If people are normally, we call this a teachable moment, and people are often ready to make a change if their life's in jeopardy. Some people still don't do it, and I think in that case, I'm really sorry. I really don't know what to bloody say. maybe, I don't know, just, yeah, try to find some resources. I guess, like maybe doctors have said to him, oh,